Hello all. Continuing the previous lecture, we are back with the numerical. This is the soil data. In the previous class, what we did was till eccentricity check. In soil data, mass density of soil is given as 2 ton per meter cube. What else we require at present is bearing capacity of 250 kN per meter square, coefficient of uniform compression normalized for area 10 meters square, and the site coefficient of uniform compression is 5 into 10 raised to 4 kN per meter cube, and corresponding static stress, that is sigma 01, is 100 kN per meter square. Bearing pressure check. Here the check was that margin for other load should be greater than 30%. To check this, we require the foundation base area, which is the width into length, which is 5.2 into 2.2, which comes out to be 11.44 meters square. The soil bearing pressure due to this will be total weight of foundation, that is 1142, plus machine 346 kilonewton upon the total foundation area, that is 11.44, comes out to be 130 kilonewton per meter square. So margin for other load with respect to the SBC of 250, you get 48%, which is greater than 30, hence it is okay. Next is site soil parameters. Here it is given that site coefficient of uniform compression as 5 into 10 raised to 4 kN per meter cube. What Cu exactly means, it is the ratio of the vertical pressure causing compression to the corresponding vertical deformation. So as the figure shows, F5 is a pressure and Y is the corresponding vertical deformation. And this particular value is not only dependent on E and that is soil modulus and Poisson's ratio, but it is also dependent on base contact area. So we can say it is hence dependent on foundation shape and size as well, as the equation notices. Soil under uniform shear. The previous one was for soil under uniform compression. For shear, as you can see, the force Fx is in the direction of x and corresponding deflection or deformation is x. It is represented as C tau, and the ratio is C tau upon Cu equal to 0.5. So C tau is 0.5 of Cu. Similarly, soil under non-uniform compression means it is uneven compression on either side. So about Z, it is denoted by C phi, and about X, which is pitching, it is denoted by C theta. And both C phi and C theta is twice of Cu. While the same thing about Y is yawing and is termed as soil under non-uniform shear. The ratio of C psi upon C tau is 1.5. So C psi is, you may say, 0.75 of Cu. So the reference says that effective depth can be calculated as foundation depth plus half the width of the foundation. So in order to calculate the same, first we'll again go back to what is the corresponding base area given is 10 meters square. Site static stress is 100 given. So to find out the effective depth D02, it is the foundation depth below ground level as 3.5 plus half of foundation width. So it is 0.5 into 2.2, which comes up to be 4.6. So corresponding to this depth, overburden pressure due to soil is gamma D, and gamma is given as 2 ton per meter cube, so the value comes out to be 90.25 kN per meter square. Area of foundation calculated is 11.44 meters square, Hence, overburden pressure due to foundation and machine is total weight of foundation and machine upon total area, which is 130. Hence, net pressure is addition of these two values, which is the design static stress given as sigma 02, which comes out to be 220.32 kN per meter square. So using this equation, we want to find design coefficient of uniform compression from the site coefficient of uniform compression, which is given already as 5 into 10 raised to 4, which is indicated here as Cu01. Also, sigma 02 has been obtained as 220.32. Sigma 01 is a given data of 100, that is static stress. A01 is 10 meter square, while A02 is ideally 11.44 meter square, but any value above 10 meter square will be taken as 10 as it is. So the value of design coefficient of uniform compression comes out to be 7.42 into 10 raised to 4 kN per meter cube. So corresponding to this value of Cu, the other three coefficients can be obtained. That is, coefficient of uniform shear is 0.5 times Cu, which is 3.71 into 10 raised to 4. Similarly, coefficient of non-uniform compression is twice of Cu, which comes out to be 14.84 into 10 raised to 4, and that of non-uniform shear is 0.75 times Cu, which comes out to be 5.565 into 10 raised to 4 kilonewton per meter cube. Next comes out to be is a soil stiffness or equivalent springs. For that, the first three values are nothing but the moment of inertia, and because it is rectangular in shape, we'll simply say it is BD cube by 12. So for Ixx, it should be parallel into perpendicular cube by 12. Similarly for Izz and Iyy. Iyy is polar moment of inertia, simply addition of x and z. For x, let's see, in x direction, the parallel is 2.2, perpendicular is 5.2 cube by 12. Similarly for z and y. For these moment of inertia, the soil stiffnesses can be obtained in this fashion. K, X, Y, and Z are the translational springs, which is Ct or C tau into area, Cu into area, and C tau into area correspondingly. While K theta, K psi, and K phi are corresponding to rotational stiffnesses, which is equal to C theta into moment of inertia about x, C psi into moment of inertia about y, and C phi into Izz correspondingly. The values obtained are as shown. So if we are aiming at finding out the natural frequencies, and as you already know, natural frequency is nothing but under root K by M, or stiffness upon mass. When you talk about stiffness, that particular stiffness is translational when we are having corresponding mass. But if the stiffness is rotational, mass has to change into mass moment of inertia, and for that we require to find out the mass moment of inertia of machine and foundation together. So for machine, this table is already familiar to you. About x, the equation is W by G into Y I square plus Z I square, and summation of all these values, which comes out to be 1113 ton meter square. Now, if you already know what is moment of inertia, it is area into distance square. Similarly, mass moment of inertia is mass into distance square. So in order to clear this concept, you may refer some good books or reference books for corresponding to these mass moment of inertia topic. So these are the three values corresponding to x, y, and z. Similarly, mass moment of inertia for foundation can be found out as the following equations. So in x, y, and z, these three are the values obtained. Adding these up, you'll get the combined mass moment of inertia about Cg of base point O. So the values are 2039.5 ton meter square. About y it is 408.42, while z it is 1756.35 ton meter square. The last step is to calculate natural frequencies. So px, y, z, and p theta, p sin, p phi are the 6 degrees of they are the natural frequencies in 6 degrees of freedom. X, y, z corresponding to translational degrees of freedom, and theta, xi, and phi for rotational degrees of freedom. So under root kx by m, ky by m, kz by m, your kx, y, and z you have just calculated, while m is nothing but the total mass of foundation and machine together. So 1488 in kilonewtons, so in kgs or tons it is 151.73. So px comes out to be 52.89 radian per second, py in 74.8, and pz as 52.89. Corresponding to theta, xi, and phi, k theta, k xi, and k phi have been obtained, and the masses are now the mass moment of inertia of machine and foundation together. So the values comes out to be 43.31, 64.36, and 19.75 radian per second. These are the natural frequencies in all 6 degrees of freedom. We'll keep our scope up till this. Further, if you want to study, you may refer to the book of K.G. Bhatia. The further calculation can include the coupled and uncoupled frequencies in finding out the amplitudes. But we'll keep our scope up to this. These are the references. Happy learning. Thank you.